Are you planning to have an event? Here comes an answer. Rina Bridals can make your occasions unforgettable. We offer services like wedding decoration, mantap decoration, engagement decor, kuchala decors, birthday parties, floral arrangements, product launches, cultural events, corporate events, anniversary, stains, and many others. For more information, you can contact us on 0774 19 6194 or 0752 46 3094. Find us in Kampala and for Porto branch. Rina Bridals, making your occasions unforgettable.
HM Visuals Director.
Hello, our beloved viewers. It is always a pleasure having you. I continuously want to be reminding you of your beloved honorable show, which is on Saturday 2 p.m. every Saturday, every weekend. We are here as the Gillian Tales to make sure that we reach out to you. So every Saturday, make sure you stay tuned to His Presence TV so that you can be a part of what God is doing in the lives of the youth, so that you can also listen to the topics and various things that we are going to be talking about. Even this Saturday, we are going to be live on His Presence TV at 2 p.m. Even the next Saturday and the next Saturday. Tell your neighbor and tell your friends. Let your friends bring their friends, and let all of us become a part of this show, the Gillian Tales. Thank you. Hello, our beloved viewers. It is always a pleasure having you. I continuously want to be reminding you of your beloved honorable show, which is on Saturday 2 p.m. every Saturday, every weekend. We are here as the Gillian Tales to make sure that we reach out to you. So every Saturday, make sure you stay tuned to His Presence TV so that you can be a part of what God is doing in the lives of the youth, so that you can also listen to the topics and various things that we are going to be talking about. Even this Saturday, we are going to be live on His Presence TV at 2 p.m. Even the next Saturday and the next Saturday. Tell your neighbor and tell your friends. Let your friends bring their friends, and let all of us become a part of this show, the Gillian Tales. Thank you.
Are you planning to have an event? Here comes an answer. Rina Bridals can make your occasions unforgettable. We offer services like wedding decoration, mantap decoration, engagement decor, kuchala decors, birthday parties, floral arrangements, product launches, cultural events, corporate events, anniversary, stains, and many others. For more information, you can contact us on 0774 19 6194 or 0752 46 3094. Find us in Kampala and for Porto branch. Rina Bridals, making your occasions unforgettable.
HM Visuals Director.
Hello and good afternoon, our beloved viewers from Uganda and of course across the globe. You are most welcome to this our special daily weekend show. It is always a pleasure to have you with us, always a pleasure. You are very welcome to today's show. Of course, as we promised, every Saturday we are going to be delivering the best to you here on His Presence TV with Gillian Tales Show. I am your daily host, Karungi Gillian, and I am ready to serve you as per the need of today. Today we are going to talk about a very, very, very important topic that I don't want you to miss. So before the show begins, I'm going to give you a little break. You go and call you upon your neighbors, call upon your friends so that they can all become a pet and blessing to this show. Today we are going to be talking about something very relevant to our daily lives and of course to our Christian lives as well, because we are on His Presence TV, God Made Manifest. Before I leave you for a short break, I would like to ask you some few questions that will lead us to today's topic that we'll go with in contemplation. Have you ever been caught up between? Have you ever struggled to choose between what is right and what is expected of you? Have you ever felt pressure from family, friends, work, colleagues, and society that want sometimes to compromise your values and your boundaries, or sometimes even your principles as an individual? These are situations that we are going to solve in today's show. So as I come back from the short break, we are going to be talking about conflicting loyalties here on His Presence TV, God Made Manifest.
Are you planning to have an event? Here comes an answer. Rina Bridals can make your occasions unforgettable. We offer services like wedding decoration, mantap decoration, engagement decor, kuchala decors, birthday parties, floral arrangements, product launches, cultural events, corporate events, anniversary, stains, and many others. For more information, you can contact us on 0774 19 6194 or 0752 46 3094. Find us in Kampala and for Porto branch. Rina Bridals, making your occasions unforgettable.
HM Visuals Director.
You are very welcome back from that short break. We are always honored to have you with us here on His Presence TV, God Made Manifest. Thank you for being a part and blessing to this show, the Gillian Tales. Of course, as I told you, we are going to be talking about a very important topic, and that is conflicting loyalties. For today's show, that is For How Medical Center. For How keeps on reminding us that for our health is our wealth, and of course there is no wealth without a better health. And For How, they are willingly and ready to sponsor you and to help you with the required treatment for your body. You want to slim your body, you want to gain weight, or you want any kind of medical attention, For How is ready for you. You want to tighten up, you want a better skin, you want to heal from diseases, chronic diseases, you want to heal from diseases such as old age diseases. Of course, For How has got your back. And of course, do not forget to find them at the Dutch Plaza building, last floor, ready to serve you. Here on Gillian Tales, we are always very, 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 very sensitive about your health, and that is why I bring you For How. For our health is our wealth. Before we dive in today's show, I would like to keep reminding us that His Presence TV, God Made Manifest, is on every social media platform. We are live on TikTok. Every time this show is going on, it is also live on TikTok. We are live on YouTube, His Presence TV, and every other social media platform. And also, do not forget to follow and like, subscribe, and also be a part of the Gillian Tales Foundation, where we get to be a blessing to the world. We are also on every social media platform. You want to get through to us or to become a sponsor or blessing to this show, please dial these numbers. That is 0760 745981. I pardon myself, the number is 0760 745981. 5981. So if you want to be a part and blessing to this show by sponsoring and by also giving feedbacks, of course you can get to us through that number. Okay, now I take a deep breath. Are you ready for today's very important topic as promised before? Yeah, today we are going to be talking about conflicting loyalties. Before I went for a short break, I asked you some questions that I believe were questions you could not answer just anyhowly. I asked you, have you ever been caught up between two people that you care? Have you ever been caught up in a situation where you have to loosen up, to compromise your principles just to fit in? Have you ever been involved in a pressure from family, friends, work colleague, or society that would lead you to compromise your own values? So that is the equation we are here to solve today. Every time you get such ideas in your brain, or maybe you are in such an experience, that means you are facing a conflicting loyalty. Your loyalty towards one thing is being conflicted by the other. And surprisingly, I'm sure each one of us has gone through that experience, because many of us have been in situations where you find that you are being torn apart by two things that you love the most. For example, you're being torn apart between family and your professional responsibility. Many of the parents, many of the old people face that conflicting loyalty, whereby you have to choose between family and profession, but you need the both of them to survive. A friendship versus honesty, whereby you have to hide something for your friend, whereby you have to cover up for them, yet you know it's wrong, but then they are your friends. Where personal ambitions are very where they are your personal ambitions, and of course versus the ethical conduct of the profession. You are in the middle of something where the public says something very different, and even your mind, your brain, your conscience tells you something different. Your principles are being compromised. So we are here to solve an equation that comes in that way here as Gillian Tales. The real question is, how do we make wise decisions when every option seems important? How do you make the right decision when every decision around you seems right or important? How do you choose between two people who are very important to you? You are very welcome back from that. As the Gillian Tales show, we are always very, very sensitive about matters that involve the youth. And that is why we are always here to solve things together. Now there is this one question that we always ask ourselves as the youth. You're serving God, you are at your work, you are doing a number of things wherever you are in the contemporary world, and of course in the church setting. But you wonder, why do you always make the wrong decisions? Why do you always end up in that making that wrong choice? In that very difficult circumstance of life, like, why is it always you? That is because every time you are to decide, you are put in a circle where you are being conflicted by different loyalties. In case you had been given only one option, or maybe two options, but do not weigh the same value, and we are told to decide, it would be very easy for you to decide right over wrong. But in a generation where we are faced with conflicting loyalties, whereby what you are doing, you love it, and even the other option, you also love it, and you end up choosing wrongly. Why? Because they merely looked the same. They were almost the same. So that is the question. Why do God's people often make bad decisions under pressure? Why do you think you often make those bad decisions when you are under pressure? Is it because you cannot manage conflicting loyalties? Is it because you don't know how to choose well? Is it because you love both parties and you cannot give up on the other? But we are going, of course, to know the reason to why you do that. So, there is what we call the pressure of belonging. In our generation, as the youth, we have the pressure of belonging. Naturally, human beings like to belong. And that is not something that has begun with our generation. Even in the generations in the past, people liked to belong. That is why you always find yourself conflicting in one way or the other. Why? Because you feel like you must at least make that one decision that will make you belong somewhere, that will make you at least be a part of a certain group of people. That is why. So, for that reason, you find yourself, that pressure is pulling you into conflicting loyalty. Naturally, as human beings, we want to maintain relationships. I've ever been let me give you a real experience whereby I have ever been in a situation whereby I do not want to lose the people that are in my life, but then the decision that I want to take may lead them off from my way. That is something very common with every one of us as the youth and as the old people. Sometimes you don't want to lose the people you've loved for long, people who have been there for you, people that you've known for the longest time possible. You don't want to lose them. But the decision you're supposed to take is going to lead them away. So we end up making the wrong decision of not going just because we are afraid we are going to lose the people that are with us. And as humans, we like to keep relationships steady. We always, as human beings, face the pressure of managing. You always feel like, I can stay in it and manage. That is a statement that has grown so much with the Gen Z generation, whereby we be like, I'll manage. But in reality, you're not managing. You're just getting broken. You're ending up getting into choices that you don't like. Actually, every time you choose to manage, you're not managing. You are just choosing to let everything happen by themselves. Every time you refuse to make a clear decision and decide to manage, it's not like everything has stopped moving. Things do not remain constant. Decisions keep going on. The only difference is that you're not the one making those decisions. Why? Because you start following around, going with whatever comes around. But that does not mean you're managing. That means that you are just becoming a part of decisions that you have not made. Therefore, we like managing as the youth of this generation. You say, no, I'll manage with that friend. And in the long process, you are corrupted by that friend. You know, you keep consoling yourself that I'll change them, they will become better. Yet the Bible says that good, do not be deceived, for corrupt friends, the Bible says that, I don't know how it is phrased very well, but one thing I know is that when you are surrounded by corrupt people, your good morals are corrupted as well. That is what I know. So, in the long run, as you're trying to manage with something that you were supposed to decide in the first place to let go, you are corrupted. Your values are corrupted. Your principles, your boundaries. Every time, okay, there is this thing I would like to bring aboard, and that is the difference between tolerating and compromise. Tolerating, that is when you say, I know he's bad, I will not be like him, but I'll tolerate him the way he is because I need him. And compromise is when you choose entirely to give up on you and become that person. So most people think that it is okay for you to tolerate, but do not compromise. But I can clearly tell you today in the Gillian Tales program that every time you're tolerating, you're compromising. Tolerance is the main cause of, it's the main cause of compromise. If you want to, take a study, an evaluation in yourself. Every time that you've compromised any value in your life, any boundary, any principle, what was the cause? Was it not because you tried to manage to tolerate something? Of course, that was the reason. So therefore, that pressure of belonging, I would rather belong to them, I would rather be with them, I would rather manage with them, I would rather have them back, I would rather stay around it, I would rather, like, we are always in conflicting loyalties. You are a born-again Christian girl, you are looking for a job, and the first job you get very good paying, a very good salary, everything is everything is very favorable. The first job you will get is to work in a bar. That is conflicting your loyalty to God. So what do? What do? You want a job, you're desperately looking for one, you've got one, it's paying you, you are expected whatsoever, it's meeting your standards, what you want, the time frame of working and everything, the delivery is okay, you can manage, but then it's working in a bar. But you are born again Christian, what do? So sometimes you say, I'll stay in it, and that is how compromising and tolerance come together. You say, I'll just go in the bar, I'll sell the alcohol, I will not drink. That is tolerating. But we all know that in the long run, you will compromise. You will at least sip to test what the customer is taking. The smell will become familiar. The use will also become familiar. You will get used with the whole situation, and one day you will drink just a bottle for the road, not just to get drunk. You see how you are tolerating has led you to compromising. So that pressure of belonging most likely causes us to do the wrong decisions. We, not necessarily because we don't know the right decisions, but we are afraid to lose a part of what the right decision will cost us. So therefore, for every decision that you take, there is a price. Even if you fail to take the decision that will take away your friends, but even if you take a decision to remain with them, that decision has a price in the long run. And actually, there is this one person I love so much. He keeps saying that the things that we buy cheaply, they cost us expensively in the long run. Even the decision that does not put you at that does not lead you to seek, or like to seek, to give out that big price. That decision that you do that does not lead you to sit down and evaluate and do the needful will always cost you a lot in the long run. Therefore, what should we do? Of course, here on the Gillian Tales program, we don't just judge you and leave you hanging. We don't just tell you your mistake and leave you hanging. Then what should you do? I'm sure everyone is asking themselves that question. And we're going to answer that question when we come back from our break. Of course, that's what we are going to do first. So we've told you what happens when you're in conflicting loyalties, and I'm sure many of you have realized that you've been in conflicting loyalties very many times, and some of you are in conflicting loyalties right now. And now you know how the type of mistakes that we do during that period. But then how can we help you as the Gillian Tales program? When we come back in our third segment, we are going to be talking about how you decide better when you are in conflicting loyalties. Stay tuned on His Presence TV, God Made Manifest.
Are you planning to have an event? Here comes an answer. Rina Bridals can make your occasions unforgettable. We offer services like wedding decoration, mantap decoration, engagement decor, kuchala decors, birthday parties, floral arrangements, product launches, cultural events, corporate events, anniversary, states, and many others. For more information, you can contact us on 0774 19 6194 or 0752 46 3094. Find us in Kampala and for Porto branch. Rina Bridals, making your occasions unforgettable.
HM Visuals Director.
Aro, afande, leba gamba lo.
Uyo mumuwache.
Abo bari confident bine connection n'abayo mu kintu. Bose bine boba apana tebarukutina na polisi yabakwata no hurangwa afande gamba no bu. Konka bamwe muri twe tuyambirwe Yesu tutwineyo ebitanga muri yo tarukwenda kuyamba. Kachana kutwine ni Yesu tukakuro mucharo tine aduresi tine password buri chumwa kiriye cyo kupanga obuyashubure nyanya oriye duka ya chakaraho obuyashumbo mwabandi abana twashoma ikuruza kanya amaju twayombeka hati hangandi twesimisa Yesu yatwembeka amazina gaitu gamanywa Nyambwenu Yesu gamba noku Gamba nabo Abanichachiro meisho Bambitize mangu Niwa fande wanje Gamba nebyo Nino musi Ebyo byona Ebya kwa sere byanje Bibire kure mangu Otariera rechira nyaburawe Otarierwa nira Tinkubasa kurarho, tinkubasa kusranarho, tinkubasa kugwa mikono yabo obaruho, nkamanya unyine unaremera enyoteza yine, einozine narufukwe mureba ehungetina eskweta buka agambe tuza emyeje mure ihunga emisanesha twagamba bituza namwe nayo ruburu muroko wenda natekwa kutuza Yesu gamba noku gamba nabo abanyikikiro mesho bambigize mangu afande wanje gamba nebyo n'umunsi ebyo byona ebyakwasire byanje bibire kure mangu
Enjoy your blessings, problems no ending. Me, I enjoy my blessings, problems no ending. The King Music.
Oh, winter, pretend I know the child. Jagala kusasanya, got my money, keep the balance. Little things every day, my party, my holiday, blessings them follow me, my God, my everyday. Ezalandi road na zijeko, echimweche kumi na chijeko, ezakameza na zijeko, sina bimanja.
Enjoy your blessings, problems no ending.
Oh, oh.
Me, I enjoy my blessings. Problems no ending.
Oh, oh. Rarero, mukama byankone dengenda byatula. Rarero, sinza kusirika ngenda byogera. Onange mumpesi peso, rarero siri natsi tresi. Ono kwena senga rwaza kubari pe yakove chifesi. Amenipa zote, zote, zote. Baraka zote, zote, zote.
Enjoy your blessings, problems no ending.
Oh, oh.
Me, I enjoy my blessings, problems no ending.
Oh, oh. Jaga.
Jacob Beats.
Katonda teyali kwekana watenga twepanga tetukutuuka oli Katonda tekiribawo watenga sekyuka aliddawo lyawo oli wamaanyi
ab'amaanyi nabo bakoma era abagagga bakaba
weekuumira amagezi se wate buli kiramu
kifa wekwaka ebimera bimere wekwaka nebikala.
From that short commercial break, I am still reminding you that we are proudly being sponsored by For How Medical Center. At For How, they always are willing to serve you to make sure that you have the best health, because they believe that for your health is your wealth. So if you have any problem, any complication with your body, your mortal body, of course you can reach out to them. And I'm still reminding you that His Presence TV is live on YouTube, TikTok, and Gillian Tales too is on every social media platform. If you want to become a part of this mission, a part of the vision that is going on with Gillian Tales, of course, if you want to sponsor or if you want to give feedback or any arrangement in mind, you can come through to us through our social media platforms. Thank you so much for being with us. We are in our third segment of this show, and as promised earlier, I told us that we are going to see how we solve the problem of conflicting loyalty. Every time we are on this show, as I told you before, we are talking about both the secular world and of course the church setting. We do not forget any area of life, for we build the whole man at once, of course. So how do we solve the problem? Actually, one thing I would like to encourage and remind the youth about is that we are not the first people to face conflicting loyalties. Conflicting loyalties happened even before the coming of Christ. And even after the coming of Christ, there was conflicting loyalties in the Bible. Both in the Old and New Testament, we've been having conflicting loyalties where patriarchs, people called by God, also at times got conflicted, didn't know what exact decision to make. So you are not alone in this, and you are not the first one. Here on Gillian Tales, we always tell you, come the way you are, but do not remain the way you came. So we are here to transform your life, to inspire you, to empower you, and to bring awareness at your fingertips. So what do we do? Who do we learn from? That is something that we should know. Whenever you are in conflicting loyalties, who should you learn from? Where should you draw your encouragement? Apart from this show, of course. Because every time you're where you are, so sometimes you may not even get access to this program. You may not get access to the Gillian Tales Foundation in any way. But I am sure that there are people who have lived long enough. There are books that have lived long enough to help you overcome conflicting loyalties. When we go in the Bible, we see people like Ruth and Naomi. For those that read their story, Ruth and Naomi lost their husbands and they had to stay with their mother-in-law. But a time came when there was hunger and they had to give up on their mother-in-law and go back to their homelands because there were no husbands anymore. But Ruth chose to stay. That is a conflicting loyalty, where you have to stay back for your mother-in-law, but at the same time, you have to go back home. But what did he choose? What did she choose? And what made her choose that? That is what I am coming up to. There was Daniel during the times of King Nebuchadnezzar. Daniel was in a government where there were a lot of compromise. But then Daniel was a man of God. What was he supposed to do? Of course, he stood by the principles and statutes of God as Daniel. Here comes Jesus, the Son of God himself, to whom we draw inspiration. He came in the world, he was pure, he had no sin, but he was often very, very conflicted by the teachers of the law, by the scribes, the Pharisees, and of course by the challenging situations that he met on earth. But he had to take the right decision, that is to remain focused on his main goal. So if you are to become conflicting loyalties, you must have a vision. You must have a vision to where you're going, or else you will be led astray by the situations that you are going.
Are you planning to have an event? Here comes an answer. Rina Bridals can make your occasions unforgettable. We offer services like wedding decoration, mantap decoration, engagement decor, kuchala decors, birthday parties, floral arrangements, product launches, cultural events, corporate events, anniversary, states, and many others. For more information, you can contact us on 0774 19 6194 or 0752 46 3094. Find us in Kampala on Fopoto branch. Rina Bridals, making your occasions unforgettable.
Okay, as I was telling you, if you want to overcome conflicting loyalties, have a vision. Because if you do not know where you're going, you will not decide when things become tough. You will not know where to go. But when you know the vision that you have, you know your mission, you know your objectives, you know your goals, it will be very simple for you, because you will know which decision will lead you where. And then you will decide right. So I continue encouraging you, have a vision for your life. Some situations will come, and all they will demand is a vision to go through. As I've told you, you are not the first one to go through conflicting loyalties, and conflicting loyalties are inevitable. You will always be conflicted at a certain time in life. You will always have to choose between two important things that you love at a certain time in life. But when you have a vision, it will be easy for you. Secondly, know your non-negotiable values. If you do not have values that you stand by, you will not know how to choose right. They call you to do a bad job, you are a Christian. If you are not sure about the values of your Christianity, you will not know which one, like which decision should you take. They call you for a job and you are not very sure about your values. They call you for a job somewhere. You will fail to choose between that job and your family. You will fail. You are a father, you need to grow your children, but then you're being called for a job that will even be paying you less, but then because you don't know your values, the values of your household, you will leave and go. Okay? So you need to know those values that you cannot negotiate about. Which one you know that even if it comes this way, I will choose my values over every other thing. Seek wisdom before making decisions. That is where some question that someone once asked me comes in. Someone once told me, or rather they asked me a question. They were like, is it true? You know, there is a quote that says that do not take advice from the people you don't want to be like. Is that true? They asked me, is that true? I was like, no, of course it is not true. I am also telling you, our viewers here, it is not true. Advice can be taken from anyone. Advice is just a piece of information. Advice is just knowledge. We have knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and they are different. You can get knowledge, you can draw knowledge from anyone, but application may differ, or you may choose not to apply it. Understanding may differ. Maybe they understood it differently and you will understand it differently. So seek wisdom, seek knowledge from people. Get to know, I am in this situation. You are a born again Christian. Go to your pastors, go to your elders, go to those people that lead you. You are a child, you are a youth. Go to your parents. They are not long overdue, though they are of the other generation. conflicting loyalties have been in every generation, so you can borrow knowledge from them. You know people who have gone through the same experiences. Run to them and draw wisdom. Fourthly, communicate honestly. Do not beat around the bush. Do not say, I will manage them both. What does the Bible say in Matthew 6? A man cannot serve two masters. So do not beat around the bush. Just be clear to someone and tell them, for sure, I would love to do what you've told me, but I cannot do them all at once. I have to choose, in as much as I also love what you're saying, but I have to choose a stand, and the stand may not be this. Be honest. Do not keep people in darkness when they think you're with them, yet you're against them. Be clear. Okay? Fifthly, number 50, that is prioritize integrity. Say what you do what you say. Do not choose another path and remain loyal to the other one that you did not choose. What is the meaning of that? You made a decision, chose to leave the job, but then you are still surviving on the same job. Like, be integral. Be consistent. Do not compromise what you've chosen. Why should you compromise it if you chose it yourself? Stand for it. Even the consequences that come with your decision. Do not run back. Bear them. For that is what a man is meant for, to fall and rise again. And lastly, consider the long-term impact, not the comfortability and short-time impact of something. Sometimes you see every decision, everything looks good, but what does Apostle Paul teach to the Christians? He says everything is good, but not everything is for you. Sometimes your goals are long-term, but this other choice is kind of short-term. So don't choose it, because you know it will not lead you to where you are going. Choose things according to their longevity to their longevity. Choose according to how they will last, their long-term effect, their long-term impact, what they will be in few years to come. Don't just choose because it is comfortable. I like it. I like that one. I like her. I do this. I like that job. But the job is just a contract that will end in 1 year. So after 1 year, what will you do? Will you run? Will you, like, what will you do? I want this ministry. You have to be sensitive when taking decisions. For how long will this decision impact me? Is it just short time? Am I going to die tomorrow? Don't make decisions like as if you're dying in the evening. And actually, I don't know how life is, but every time you make a wrong decision, you will not die simply. You will live to bear the consequences of your wrong decision. So therefore, look ahead before you decide. And that is what Gillian Tales is leaving with you today. Look ahead before you decide. That is what matters in conflicting loyalty. But otherwise, every time you have conflicting loyalties, we as the Gillian Tales, we are praying for you to get through that hard time and make the right decision that will lead you forward. I am Karungi Gillian, your daily host on the Gillian Tales program here on His Presence TV. We are always live every Saturday, same time at 2 p.m. and we are always very glad to have you with us. So conflicting loyalties are inevitable, but you can get through them without making mistakes. Thank you so much for being with us, and we believe you have been blessed. You can give your feedback on the numbers I read at first, and of course you can still become a blessing to this show through those numbers. You can share what you have so that we can keep on air and we can reach out to the community, to all the youth around the world. Thank you so much for being a part of this show. I salute you. Bye-bye. Hello, our beloved viewers. It is always a pleasure having you. I continuously want to be reminding you of your beloved honorable show, which is on Saturday 2 p.m. every Saturday, every weekend. We are here as the Gillian Tales to make sure that we reach out to you. So every Saturday, make sure you stay tuned to His Presence TV, so that you can be a part of what God is doing in the lives of the youth, so that you can also listen to the topics and various things that we are going to be talking about. Even this Saturday, we are going to be live on His Presence TV at 2 p.m. Even the next Saturday and the next Saturday. Tell your neighbor and tell your friends. Let your friends bring their friends, and let all of us become a part of this show, the Gillian Tales. Thank you.
HM Visuals Director.
Transformation music.
Kama okungonza nyijwire kuganja no kwesima ndubata tintina kabikona